Oh, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Um, yeah, our purpose really is to always share knowledge, to share nuggets, to specifically legal nuggets on issues that affect us as a community. Um, we often hear people say, "Hey, I will sue you for whatever you wrote about me in newspaper articles, in social media. I will sue you." And I think today it's quite an interesting topic that we should explore, the question of defamation in terms of our South African law. But before we continue, allow me to make a disclaimer. Whatever we're discussing today is not extensive legal advice. Should you require further legal advice, you are advised to approach attorneys. For example, you can approach the Clementina Thai attorneys. Their details are above. Look, defamation in itself is a very complex issue to explore. What we will do today, we'll just summarize the most important things so that you are aware and you have knowledge and you are careful when you are publishing any statements or giving your opinion in public with respect to matters that affect people. Defamation is really just injury to a person's dignity by wrongfully and intentionally publishing a statement that seeks to cause harm to that particular person, and that person will be referred to as an applicant or a plaintiff, because they'll be bringing a matter either to court for damages or whatever relief they seek against you. So really what the law seeks to do with regards to defamation, it aims to balance that person's dignity or the plaintiff's dignity or right to dignity against the defendant's right to freedom of expression, where one can just freely express themselves and give an opinion. For a plaintiff's claim for defamation to be a success, there are quite a number of things that they need to prove. One of them being the fact that the statements that was published were defamatory to their character or to their dignity. That that a person who is objective and reasonable would have found the statements actually defamatory. The second ground that the court would look at is whether the defamatory or claimed defamatory statements were indeed wrongful. It is presumed otherwise that it is wrongful. However, the defendant can raise defense against that claim and presumption that it was wrongful. The other one is an issue of intention. If you don't intend to cause harm, really, you can put that as a ground and say there was no intention in respect of causing harm or defaming the applicant. One of the things that are required is that they must have been publishing. We live in the day and age of digital availability. There's social media here and there. We live in a fast-paced world, so a lot of people just publish and forward whatever they get. So it is requirement that the alleged defamatory statement must have been published or communicated to more than one person. So an applicant can't just say, "I'm the only one who saw the statement, therefore it is defamatory." It must have been seen or communicated to more than one person, meaning to people around or in the circle of the applicant. This communication could have either been verbal, it could be verbal slander, it could easily be libel recordings, it could even be in writing, like as I mentioned, the social media posts, the circulated emails, WhatsApp group, newspaper articles, etc. So those are some of the grounds that the court would look at in order to enforce a claim against defamatory statements. As a defendant or a person that's being sued, in simpler terms, you should actually approach lawyers who you will need the attorney's help in order to put up your defense, and just generally common defenses that are put up include the fact that the statements that you would have published was truthful and was for public benefit. Let's look at, for example, some of the statements that were done in South Africa. We know now that there was a press conference done by one of the major generals. The argument he could bring is that it was for public benefit, that he posted and spoke about people's names. One of the defenses also is that the statement published would have carried legal or moral privilege for one to speak. For example, if you're going to be in court proceedings, you are allowed to speak, you are protected. If you have seen in parliament debates often, so you will hear people speak their mind and give their opinions without fear or favor. It's because they have parliamentary privilege. That's one of the grounds you could raise as a defense. One of the other grounds you could raise as a defense is that there was fair comment, meaning your honest opinion on the matter was of public interest and was based on true facts. You can also raise an issue that there was consent. On the question of consent, if the plaintiff had initially published a statement themselves, and what you are doing is you are forwarding a statement that was initially published by the plaintiff themselves, not any other person, then you can raise that as a ground. Just in quick summary, there are remedies that people will want as relief in court. For example, they would want damages. This is monetary compensation, where one can say, look, I'm suing you 5 million for defamation of my character, and it will be a matter running in court. You can ask for an interdict if you know or you are aware that a defamatory or potentially defamatory statement is going to be published in your name. I'll give you an example of a common case of Thabo Bester, where there was going to be a Netflix publishing of a documentary. He approached the court on grounds that the documentary publication may be defamatory to his character or may cause harm. One of the remedies that people would ask for is retraction. Say the statement has already been published, you can claim that it be retracted, it be withdrawn, and you can even claim that the person who published your alleged defamatory statement must give a public apology. Those are some of the reliefs that may be sought, but I repeat again, it's not an easy battle. The question of defamation to run it and institute it in court, so you will